Dude, that is insane! What? That is insane! Oh my god!
We are now in 2025, and that means that Riot is going to kick off Valorant with a new season, alongside a whole host of new changes coming down the pipeline. But most notably right now are the game's new, slightly bizarre cosmetic items called flexes, and a brand new agent whose oppressive kit has some players just a little bit worried.
What in the Fortnite did I just watch?
All right, so we are approaching the 5-year anniversary for Valorant, and with that, the devs have released a few videos outlining their plans for the future. Most of it is a bit vague, just showing face and claiming that this is going to be the biggest and best year of Valorant yet. A pretty large statement for a game that feels like it's kind of stepped out of the spotlight as of late, but more on that later. Because first, we should talk about the brand new Colombian initiator, Tejo. Both Liz and Niall were able to jump into the early access to give him a try, but now that he's out, I have my own thoughts as well. But right out of the gate, there were some concerns given the lethality of his abilities. Once upon a time, the devs said that abilities in Valorant were supposed to provide tactical advantages rather than kill. And then they dropped Raze, who only does damage, and then of course Chamber, who has abilities like gun and other gun. Well folks, it seems they've done it again with Tejo. First off, he has a sticky bomb that works like KO's nade, but instead of damaging, it concusses, so we're good there. He also has a drone that both suppresses and reveals enemies, which is super cool, normal, and fun. However, his final core ability are literal missiles that he fires the exact same way that Brim launches his smokes. So literal point and click grenades.
Hold on. Wait. All right, go.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
If that wasn't bad enough for the anti-damage dealing ability crowd out there, this guy's ult is even more insane. Think just Breach's ult, but it kills. You get your map out again and select where it goes in Armageddon.
This is how it ends. The ultimate is ready.
It is understandable how at first glance this could be seen like another bridge too far from Riot, but after talking to Liz and Niall and getting to try him myself, it's actually not that bad. You see, these abilities are pretty aggressive and oppressive, but in a good way. Playing as Tejo and against him are both rewarding and annoying for the same reason. His entire kit basically deals with rats and campers. Yes, his missile does damage, but I feel like more often than not, you're going to be using it to clear out annoying angles and corners on sites, and the same could be said for his ult. Him not having a flash balances out his kit. I honestly still think that abilities like that are better at taking control over sites than what he has. But honestly, overall, his abilities help pick up the pace of any given round by flushing people out. I think the biggest concern remaining is with post plants. Listen, Riot changing how pings work in-game did help a lot, but as long as you know where the bomb is planted, you basically have point-and-click lineups to disrupt defuses. Overall, nothing too crazy like Chamber or Neon, but I think he will potentially shake up the post-plant meta as we start to see him get some real playtime. Now, aside from that, and maybe more important to the average Valorant fan, Riot has also added a brand new type of cosmetic that is basically like the collectibles in Overwatch. It's called a flex. It's basically a random item that you take out and can inspect. They don't actually do anything gameplay-wise and are mostly just there for style points. In fact, you can actually spam the inspect for these items, the same way that you can with your knife, and that addictive stimulation actually seems to be the selling point. But in the immediate reaction, fans weren't too impressed that Riot were seemingly pushing out a new avenue for microtransactions, while important features that the community wants, like a replay system or actual good maps, are still missing from the game. But I don't buy it. I personally think the Valorant community is going to eat this shit up.
Oh, you can spin the snowflake. It spins. It spins like a motherfucker.
You have been doing this.
Oh shit. Wait, this is the fastest spinning object in the game so far.
There's also a new battle pass and map pool, of course, but out of all of this, the most interesting part was in one of their videos where they explained the current state of, quote, player behavior. The most notable thing is that they are now allowing for instant remakes. If someone leaves in the first round of a match, you are able to basically cancel it with just 3 votes. This is great. I think it's a universally appreciated change that should pretty much be in every game. But in that same section, the lead for Valorant's competitive team said that they also sent out 500,000 warnings to repeat offenders for comms abuse just last year. I think it's pretty interesting to put a specific number on how many toxic people you potentially have in your game, but I can't tell if the number is crazy or not. However, they do say that these warnings seem to have reduced repeated behavior by at least 25%, which is good. On top of that, they also announced an update for their voice evaluation system, which records and saves abusive voice comms. It's been a pretty controversial topic for a little while now, but has since launched worldwide outside of Korea. Currently, they are in the process of evaluating global English, which I'm sure is just a complicated way of saying that they are improving their AI detection systems to actually learn what abusive communication in English sounds like. It's been a while since I last heard about this topic, but it's been a pretty touchy subject, so it'll be interesting to see how the community reacts to this update. Honestly, let me know if this is something you'd like to see me cover at length. There's a lot to talk about. Aside from that, some good news. Replay is actually coming to Valorant, eventually. They said wait for more information later this year, but did provide an update about the issue they've been running into. Because of lag compensation, when you watch a downloaded replay, what you see might not actually be what happened live in that match. They don't want this to cause confusion for players despite it being potentially unavoidable, so they're currently figuring out what the best solution looks like. Other than that, Riot promised the same old about the future of Valorant, tweaking agents, maps, the esports season, the whole 9 yards. To be honest, it does kind of sound like a good year to be a fan of this game when it comes to both playing and watching. And with the 5-year anniversary looming, hopefully they have something up their sleeves to keep this game feeling fresh. Listen, Valorant is obviously a massively successful game, but compared to just a few years ago where it felt like it was all anyone talked about, the game kind of feels like it takes up a smaller share of the total esports conversation. Now, I could be in a CS2 bubble, so let me know if I'm wrong and what you think. Obviously, Valorant released on console, which is huge for the game's total reach, but I do wonder if Valorant ever reaches the same hype it once had in years past, whether it really needs to or not. But it still does feel like anything Counter-Strike does makes like national headlines. Whereas like Valorant, just like, oh, they just released this crazy hero that's gonna do this, that, and the other. Counter-Strike announced that it was removing Vertigo, and people were like saying like, thank you. This isn't new content. This is just like a change to the map pool.